Just came off of MGS2. Starting Metal Gear Solid 3. It's my favorite game in the series. I had played this game a ton of times. I think I even got all the frogs at one point. But the last time I played it was 2007, so it's been about 10 years. So although I remember it much better than MGS 1 and 2, there's still going to be parts that are mechanically effectively blind. I think I recall pretty much the entire story, though. Have to be well rested to fight Calamity Ocelot. Arm just completely takes over. Yeah, of course we'll watch the opening. I don't think it plays a separate one on that screen, right? It's just when you hit your game. Oh, I didn't realize that the HD collection still had Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake. That's really cool. Blood on, own view, normal, camera, third-person view. I'll leave it on for now. I can change it later. Full-time cutscenes. Captions on. Okay. The uptime is because of vodcasts that have been running. The 11 hours is the total amount of time I spent on it over the course of a few weeks. I'm playing the MGS series for the first time. I like MGS 1 too. I think we want to pick 2 here. I think I picked 1 when I played it the first time. This is a cool thing to do in a new game option here. I already have a 3DS capture card, Leah. Streamed several 3DS games. We'll do a launch run for it.
After the end of World War II, the world was split into 2, East and West. This marked the beginning of the era called the Cold War.
Cool. Super excited. I love this game. Yeah, right, you could put. This game has a really good soundtrack too. Harry Gregson Williams is great. And he's in all the games for MGS2 on. He does 3, 4, Peace Walker, and 5.
Pakistan, altitude 30,000 feet.
Approaching
Propagable.
Soviet airspace.
20 minutes to drop off.
Commencing internal depressurization. Equipment check. Arm main parachute.
All right. You ready to go?
Drop zone still showing a high pressure mass. Cav okay.
Good. We've got high visibility.
Unfortunately, they didn't put a sword of spare.
Connecting oxygen hose to interior connector. Put on your mask. Does this panty waste know what he's doing?
Yeah, he did ban Sornas instead of Sorna spare.
Approaching release point.
10 minutes to drop off.
Hey, are you deaf?
He said put out the cigar and put on your mask.
So us seeing right in here only happens if you pick I like MGS2 at the beginning. Because Kojima's an asshole.
Opening rear hatch.
Bullet time cigar throwing. It's like the epic chip eating sequence from
Sunrise.
Death Note.
External temperature minus 46 degrees Celsius. 2 minutes to drop off. Stand up.
You'll be falling at 130 miles per hour. Try not to get frostbite from the wind chill.
Yeah, I don't remember that either, Yukiko. Maybe just because it's the HD remaster, you can actually see it.
This is one for the history books. The world's first halo jump.
10 seconds to drop off.
Like,
Stand
it takes
by.
place in the past, so if they're gonna do something fancy, it has to be the first time they're doing it.
Prepare for drop-off. Countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Spread your wings
And fly. God be with you.
This game looks so good for a PS2 game. People thought that Metal Gear Solid 2 was all pre-rendered and fake. It's amazing how much better Snake Eater looks than in PS2.
Jack, I've got some important news. The head of the CIA has finally given us the green light for the Virtuous Mission.
Virtual Mission?
No, the Virtuous Mission.
Virtual
The future
Mission?
of our Fox unit depends on it. If it succeeds, we'll be officially organized into a unit.
Virtuous
Absolutely.
Mission. Sounds like some kind of initiation ritual.
You know, don't get cocky. This isn't a training op.
Right. So what exactly is this wonderful mission?
Well,
Nerd.
about 2 years ago, a certain Soviet scientist requested asylum in the West through one of our moles. His name is Nikolai Stepanovich Sokolov.
Yay, going back to
He's
Russian
head of
vaguely
the
Slavic
754 Design Bureau,
scientists.
one of
It's
the
very Metal Gear
Soviets'
1 and
top
2.
secret weapon research facilities, and the East's foremost expert on weapons development.
Sokolov. Isn't he that famous rocket scientist?
The very same. On April the 12th, 1961, the Soviets achieved the first manned spaceflight in history.
The Earth was blue, but there was no God.
Well spoken. The rocket that carried Yuri Gagarin into orbit was the A-1.
That's apocryphal. Did Yuri Gagarin actually say that?
Sokolov is said to be the man most responsible for the multi-engine cluster.
Yeah,
used
whenever I hear
in that
Sokolov,
rocket.
I always think of this game.
After Gagarin's flight, Sokolov left rocket development to become the head of the newly established
Metal Gear
Design
Solid is
Bureau.
a sequel to the Metal Gear games.
From a
Yeah.
lowly technician to head
Metal
of a
Gear 1
design
and 2
bureau,
are for
that's
a
quite a success story.
Japanese
So why do you want to defect?
PC gaming system called
It
the
seems he'd become
MSX2.
afraid of his own creation.
Kind of like the Commodore 64.
Afraid.
Call it a crisis of conscience.
And for that,
the same
he left his
series.
country and his family behind and went over the fence?
Not exactly. One of his conditions was that his family was also to be
Solid
taken
with the 3D
safely to
games.
the west. We used a mole to get the family out first, and succeeded in sneaking Sokolov over the Berlin Wall shortly afterwards. I was the one who conducted the operation.
He said, I see no God up
The
here.
security on the eastern side was still full of holes back then. Then what?
We got Sokolov
They're so
over in one
straightforward,
piece.
though.
The
This
whole
name is
ordeal
lame,
had
it's
left him
great.
Exhausted, and we checked him into a hospital in West Berlin.
Pretty metal loaded, too.
It took him 2 weeks and more than 600 miles to get from the research facility
game has a
in
lot
the
of
Soviet Union
cutscenes.
to Berlin.
It's good,
He
though.
was in no condition to say anything coherent. And it was only a week later that we had something much bigger on our hands.
The Cuban Missile Crisis.
October the 16th, 1962, President Kennedy received word.
I remember
that the
playing
Soviets were in
the
process of deploying intermediate
Virtuous
range
Mission
ballistic
demo for this
missiles
game. I
to
forget
Cuba.
how you got that demo, but I played a shit ton
President
of it.
demanded that the Soviets dismantle
this was all
and remove
new.
the missiles. At the same time, he announced a naval blockade to prevent further missile shipments from reaching Cuba. But the Soviets didn't back down, instead placing their armed forces on secondary alert. Soviet transport ships carrying missiles continued on course towards Cuba. US
Are
and
they not
Soviet
bringing
forces
it?
went
Are
on
you
alert
serious?
for an all-out nuclear war. Frantic negotiations were
Seems like
conducted
bad
with the
business.
UN's Emergency Security Council and unofficial channels to end the hair-trigger standoff. Finally, on October the 28th, the Soviet Union agreed to remove its missiles from Cuba, and so the world avoided a nuclear holocaust. But in order to get the Soviets to pull their missiles out, we had to make a deal.
You mean the one where the US agreed to remove its IRBMs from Turkey?
Guess you're importing it
No.
from Japan then,
The
huh?
Jupiter
Sornos.
IRBMs deployed in Turkey were obsolete, and we were going to get rid of them
Maybe
anyway.
propagable.
They had no strategic value whatsoever to either the US or the Russians. The Turkey deal was a ruse, a cover story that was fed to the other intelligence agencies around the world.
So what did the Russians really want?
Sokolov. They wanted us to return Sokolov.
You mean the Soviets pulled out of Cuba just to get their hands on Sokolov?
It's cool.
That's right.
Now I can fit
The
stuff
hell
into
was he
historical
working on?
events, which is fun.
At the time, we had no idea. We were running out of time. It was either give up Sokolov or risk full-scale nuclear war. In the end, we had no choice. President Kennedy...
Oh,
gave
you're in
it
for
to
a treat,
Khrushchev's
Propagable. This game
demand.
is amazing. I
The
love
next
this.
day, I got Sokolov
It's still
out of the
long-winded, but
hospital,
it's
handed
so
him
good.
over to agents on the eastern side. Sokolov kept on screaming, "Save me," until he disappeared from my sight. Then a month ago, we received some new information from one of our moles.
About Sokolov?
Yes, he was taken back to the research facility and forced to continue working on the weapon in question under KGB supervision. What's more, it's on the verge of completion.
So what kind of weapon is it? Something to do with space rockets?
No, missiles.
Same technology.
I guess you're right.
Yeah,
We don't
it's
know
cool
the
you can
details,
go.
but it appears to be a new kind of nuclear device. For half a year now, the Soviets have been conducting frequent nuclear tests at Semipalatinsk.
Something to do with the weapon, I assume.
We're talking about a secret weapon so big that Khrushchev was ready to pull out of Cuba to get it back.
Is Sokolov still in the facility?
I think this whole cutscene wasn't in the Virtuous
No,
Mission
according
demo.
to our intelligence,
I think you just
he's
landed.
in Selino-Yask, a place in the mountains about 3 miles to the west that's known as the Virgin Cliffs.
The Virgin Cliffs.
Virgin
Nice
Cliffs.
name for a virtuous mission.
They moved him there just recently.
Good
Why?
candidate for the sound effect.
Apparently, they're conducting a field test of the weapon, but it's our best chance to get him back. This mission would never have been possible if he was still in the research facility. This is our last chance. Sokolov must have known that too when he contacted us.
He's just reflecting on that long cutscene as he falls. It was a really long fall. Yeah, it seems like a really bad business decision if they don't end up localizing. I love that if you picked I like MGS2, not only do you start looking like Raiden, but they have the thing in the cutscene where they call you Jack.
Listen up, Jack. Your mission is to infiltrate
Oh, I forgot about the
Selino-Yask in Soviet
R1 to
mountains,
see
ensure the
cutscenes
safety
in
of Sokolov,
first-person
and bring him
view.
back to the
That's
west.
cool.
If we don't get Sokolov back before that weapon is complete, we'll be facing a major crisis. The clock is ticking.
You think Nintendo would pressure them since it would be a system seller in the West, right? Not that they have issues with selling.
Once we've
but-
confirmed the rescue of Sokolov, stand by at the recovery point. A recovery balloon will be dropped at that point. Helium will be pumped into the balloon to inflate it. The process takes about 20 minutes.
I think that's why Propagable there.
Once it's complete,
This is a Black
the
Op.
gunship's arm will latch onto the balloon and pull it up.
The Fulton surface-to-air recovery system. I'm familiar with the theory.
Take it easy. It's been combat proven.
Do you think Sokolov is up to it?
The shock will be less than during a parachute jump, and the arm can handle up to 500
The idea is that they're just
pounds.
going to totally disavow me.
So you're planning on going over the border
Propagable
in a
if things
single
go
combat
bad.
talent?
She's equipped with 2 6-barrel 20mm Vulcan cannons, as well as 2 40mm machine guns.
Sounds like she could hold her own against a battalion of tanks.
Even with the fuel in the reserve tank, we're facing a 4-hour time limit.
Right.
If all goes well, it shouldn't take more
It's
than
all
a few
about
hours.
plausible deniability, I think.
Home in time for dinner.
But if anything goes wrong,
You'll be eating dinner, breakfast.
and all the rest of your meals in the jungle.
I think that sort of thing happens a lot, though. Can you confirm or disconfirm, Six Gun? Call upon your history facts knowledge. During the Cold War, you'd often do things secretly that would obviously had to have been done by the opposite power, but as long as there was plausible deniability, you can get away with it. It was pretty key to a James Bondy story, I think, at least. Again, this is only because we picked I Like MGS2 at the beginning. Which I missed out on this since I picked I Liked MGS1 when I played this on launch. He's got US Army on his helmet. Don't die immediately, that would be nice. I love the UI in this game.
What's wrong? You were expecting something different? Now, go and find Sokolov and get him out of there.
Knife, ration. Frogs. Yeah, this game got some really cool systems, I agree. Expecting something different.
Do you copy? You're already in enemy territory, and somebody might be listening in. From here on out, we'll be using code names to refer to each other. Your code name for this mission will be Naked Snake. I'll be referring to you as Snake from now on.
I'm not gonna get all the frogs
Not
again,
to
don't
mention
worry.
your real name.
Snake?
What, you don't like snakes?
What do you mean?
Well, you've eaten one before, haven't you?
In survival training?
I'm glad to hear that.
I don't know if I'd ever order one in a restaurant, but...
Be careful, you might not have a choice.
What about you, Major? What should I call you?
Let's see. I'll be Tom. Call me Major Tom.
Ground control.
Oh, and Snake.
Yeah,
Time.
The crew isn't watching anymore. You can take off the disguise now.
good idea. This isn't right. Time for the snake to shed his skin.
Oh, they have the reveal again. Oh, Kojima. Everyone is worse at aggressive covert ops than the public thinks they are. Or presidents think they are. Interesting. That makes sense. I think it's part of that whole competence porn thing I was talking about, where people believe in conspiracy theories because it's comforting to think that we can do stuff like that totally secretly, but then you look at all the failed assassination attempts on, like, Castro, right? Only been known to Snake for a minute.
Can you hear me, Major Tom? This is Snake. Kept you waiting, huh?
This will be a sneaking mission. You must not be seen by the enemy. You must leave no trace of your presence. Is that clear? This kind of infiltration is the Fox unit's speciality.
Fox.
In other words, weapons and equipment are procured on site. That goes for food as well. You're completely naked, just as your name implies.
Great. Now I see why you asked me if I like snakes. I suppose calling me Snake was your idea of a joke, too.
No, there's a good reason for that. I'll tell you later when the time is right.
Gotcha. Getting back to the subject, how exactly am I supposed to feed myself?
You've been issued a knife and a tranquilizer gun. Use them to hunt for food. You'll also find some medical supplies in your backpack.
Yeah, about the backpack. I lost it in a tree on the way down.
I see. Well, you'd better go back and get it then. You know where it is?
No problem. I can see it from here. It's stuck on a branch.
To climb a tree, stand in front of a tree that's covered in ivy and press the action button.
It's almost like Snake
I'll
is
be
really
monitoring
concerned
your
about
progress
core
when you're
gameplay
ready.
mechanics, right, Ikupo?
Can't risk violating Soviet airspace, but I'll be in the gunship. My frequency is 140.85. I'll give you a call if I need to talk to you.
I like that the
If
frequencies
you need to
generally
talk
stay
to
the
me,
same.
use the send function. Okay, Snake, go get your backpack.
I love the UI in this game. It just looks really good. Revival pill. Espionage pill developed by the CIA can wake up from fake death. Use with the X button in the window. Man, the things I forgot about this game piling up. Go get your backpack. Life medicine, developed by the USSR, restores life. Yeah, right. Like the codec looks pretty different.
I see you've retrieved your backpack, Snake.
That's fair, Six Gun.
To equip a weapon, it's necessary to take it out of your backpack. In the survival viewer, choose Weapon from the backpack.
Death medicine.
Your available weapons will be displayed in a window in the upper left. From that list, choose the weapon you want to equip and press the Enter button. For other equipped items, just do the same thing from Item.
Got it. Use the survival viewer backpack.
Yep, that's right. Survival is fundamental to this mission. After you've been out in the field for a while, your stamina will start to drop. If your stamina gets too low, it'll affect your performance. You won't be able to shoot accurately, for example, and your wounds won't heal as smoothly. Keep an eye on your stamina so you don't run out. To recover lost stamina, you can hunt for local flora and fauna. You can use either your tranquilizer gun or your knife to hunt.
My only weapon is a Mark 22 Hush Puppy tranquilizer gun.
Is that an
That's
actual
right.
gun?
It's been fitted with its own suppressor. However, the suppressor will deteriorate every time you fire. Once its durability reaches 0, the noise suppression effect will be gone. So don't get too trigger happy with it. The
Cool.
suppressor's durability is shown in the icon. Any weapons and equipment beyond what you're carrying now, you'll have to find as you go.
I have to find my own weapons and equipment? Whose crazy idea was this anyway?
Solo covert actions are standard Fox operating procedure. You can't leave any traces of your presence. No weapons, equipment, footprints, sweat, or bodily waste. The same goes for bullets and cartridges, too.
Fucking kidding me,
Your
right?
presence in enemy territory is already a violation of international conventions of warfare. There aren't supposed to be any American soldiers in Russia. It could spark an international incident. You can't let anyone see you. You can't let the enemy know you're there. This is a stealth mission. You're a ghost, Snake, in every sense of the word. And there'll be no rescue if you're captured. The military and US government will deny any involvement in the affair.
Then I'll just have to take care of myself, huh?
I'm afraid so. You've been given a fake death pill for that purpose. SIS guidelines stipulate that soldiers on covert ops like this one be issued a potassium cyanide capsule. Tape it to your body so you can take it when you need to.
How generous of you.
Use it if you're taken prisoner by the enemy. It'll send you into a state of false death for a short time.
Fooling them into thinking that I'm really dead. So how do I come back to life?
Just take the revival pill.
You mean that thing they put in my tooth before the mission?
That's the one. But be careful. If you remain in a state of false death for too long, nothing will be able to bring you back. Remember that.
I'll keep it in mind.
So goofy.
You said
Cool.
this was a solo mission, right?
Right.
I guess that means I can't count on any reinforcements.
Correct. The mission rests entirely in your hands.
A real one-man army.
Relax. There's a
Yeah, it's
support
really
team
cool.
ready to back you up over the radio.
Who?
I'll introduce them
It's
to you.
very James Bond.
This time, survival is of utmost importance. The first member of the support team will be in charge of monitoring your physical condition, acting as a medic, so to speak, as well as recording your
Could you
mission
put a
data.
tranquilizer
She's a
dart
member
into
of
it, Six
Fox
Gun?
as well, and she's here on the gunship with me.
She.
Hello, Snake. I'm paramedic. Nice to meet you.
Paramedic.
As in a medic who comes in by parachute.
Aren't you going to tell me your real name?
Are you going to tell me yours, Mr. Snake?
My name, huh? It's John Doe.
And they call you Jack for short. You're a regular Captain Nemo.
A name
This
means
is the first game
nothing
where I
on the
realized Jack
battlefield.
was technically short
After
for
a week,
John. I didn't
no
know
one
that.
has a name.
Short
What's your
for,
name?
a nickname for it. Probably
Jane
more
Doe.
correct.
Very funny.
I wasn't joking, but I'll tell you my name only if you manage to make it back alive. My frequency is 145.73.
She's also in charge of recording your mission data. Whenever you want to save, send a message over the reserved save frequency, 140.96.
So saving lets me record my mission data.
That's right. It also records the state of your health.
Good to know.
There's one more person I want to introduce you to, Snake.
Huh?
Speaking of snakes, you remember the boss, don't you? A legendary soldier and your mentor.
Yeah.
Actually, it was the boss that got the DCI's authorization in the first place. She's going to be serving as Fox's mission advisor.
See ya.
Boss is?
She also helped me plan this mission. She and I were at SAS together.
I don't, Six Gun.
Jack,
Really?
is that you? How many years has it been?
Boss?
That's right. It's me.
Oh.
Talk to me. Let me hear your voice.
It's been 5 years, 72 days, and 18 hours.
You've lost weight.
You can tell just by the sound of my voice.
Of course I can. I know all about you.
Really? Well, I don't know anything about you.
What's that supposed to
Yeah,
mean?
you remember your mentor, right?
Why'd
I
you
meant to tell you
disappear
this
on
for
me all
player
of a sudden?
exposition.
I was on a top secret mission.
Hmm.
You didn't need me anymore.
But there were still so many things I wanted you to teach me.
No, I taught you everything you needed to know about fighting techniques. I taught you all I could. The rest you needed to learn on your own.
Techniques, sure. But what about how to think like a soldier?
How to think like a
So
soldier?
you got a mission
I
here,
can't
Snake.
teach you that. A soldier needs to be strong in spirit, body, and technique. And the only thing you can learn from
Yeah, with the
someone else
boss.
is technique. In fact,
This game is so
technique
good.
doesn't even matter. What's most important is spirit. Spirit and body are like two sides of a single coin. They're the same thing. I can't teach you how to think. You'll just have to figure it out for yourself. Listen to me, Jack. Just because soldiers are on the same side right now doesn't mean they always will be. Having personal feelings about your comrades is one of the worst sins you can commit.
It's kind of a theme from
Politics
Metal Gear
determine
1
who you face on the battlefield.
and 2 with Great
And
Fox, right?
politics are a living thing. They change along with the times. Yesterday's good might be tomorrow's evil.
Is that why you abandoned me?
No, it had nothing to do with you. I already told you, Jack. I was on a top secret mission. A soldier has to follow whatever orders he's given. It's not his place to question
Pearl
why,
from SpongeBob?
but you're looking for a reason to
Interesting.
fight.
Oh
You are a
man,
natural born
you ruined the
fighter,
boss for me.
but you're not quite a
I can
soldier.
only see her now.
A soldier is a political tool, nothing more. That's doubly true if he's a career soldier.
That's fine.
Right and wrong have no place in his mission. He has no enemies and no friends. Only the mission. You follow the orders you're given. That's what being a soldier is.
I do whatever.
That's kind of
I
like
have
how
to
Gray
get the
Fox
job
is
done.
voiced by Pinky from
think
Pinky and the
about
Brain,
politics.
right? And Yakko.
That's not the same thing. Sooner or later, your conscience is going to bother you. In the end, you have to choose whether you're going to live as a soldier or just another man with a gun. There's a saying in the Orient, loyalty to the end. Do you know what it means?
Being patriotic.
It means devoting yourself to your country.
I follow the president and the top brass. I'm ready to die for them if necessary.
The president and the top brass won't be there forever. Once their terms are up, others will take their place.
I follow the will of the
Doesn't mean
leader,
loyalty's
no
the
matter
end.
who's in charge.
People aren't the ones who dictate the missions.
Then who does?
The times. People's values
It's front
change
loading
over
the preaching
time.
too, right?
And so do the leaders of a country. So there's no such thing as an enemy in absolute terms. The enemies we fight are only enemies in relative terms, constantly changing with the
I remember if
times.
this was in the demo or not. I played
As
a lot
long
of the
as
demo.
we have loyalty to the end, there's no point in believing in anything, even in those we love.
It's a very
And that's
Japanese
the way a
phrasing. As
soldier's
long as we
supposed to
have
think.
loyalty to the end.
The only thing we can believe in with absolute certainty is the mission, Jack.
All right, but do me a favor.
What is it?
Call me Snake.
Snake. Oh, right. Your codename is Snake. It suits you well.
That's right. The legendary unit that the boss put together during World War II was a snake. The Cobra unit, a group of heroes that brought the war to an end and saved the world.
Didn't
As long
save
as
that
you've got
surprise
a
for very
legendary
long.
hero backing you up, you'll be fine. Isn't that right, Snake?
Yeah.
Always
I
gonna
can't
have a
think of
legendary
anyone else
hero.
I'd rather have with me. Oh, and one more thing, boss.
Yes,
Oh, that's cool.
It's good to hear your voice again.
same here. After all, who knows if either of us will make it out alive? Snake, you are always best at urban warfare and infiltrating buildings. But this is the jungle. Survival is going to be key. Those CQC techniques I taught you are sure to come in handy.
CQC. Close quarters combat, huh? I've been in the Green Berets for the past few years. I'm probably pretty rusty.
Not
Right.
to worry. I'll be here to help you remember. After all, this is your first actual survival mission. I'll be supporting you
The
over
boss
the
already
radio.
won the not calling
Where
him
are
Jack
you, boss?
contest.
Next to the
Exactly.
Major?
The boss
Oh,
is
right, okay.
communicating with us by radio from aboard a Permit-class
Can do that.
submarine in the Arctic Ocean.
My frequency is 141.80.
Like the little
Call me if you need my advice on
images they
battle
bring in.
techniques.
Gotcha.
14180,
Your
was
mission
that
is to
Master
retrieve
Miller?
Dr. Sokolov. Dr. Sokolov is being held in an abandoned factory located to the north of your current position. Avoid heavy combat
No, that's
and don't
Snake's.
let anyone see you.
That's Snake's codec in
Don't forget
MGS2,
that
isn't
this
it?
is a
Pliskin?
stealth mission.
It's the legendary hero number. Except in Metal Gear 1.
Try to remember some of the basics of CQC.
CQC is basically judo.
Commencing Virtuous Mission now.
Alright, let's commence the Virtuous Mission after we save the game here.
Saving the game, Snake?
If there's a cool Easter egg codec conversation, I'm going to try to call fairly frequently, since that's a lot of the fun of this game. But if there's a particular good one you think I might miss it, feel free to speak up and tell me to call somebody. What is that, some kind of judo?
Hey, Snake, you ever heard of Godzilla, King of Monsters?
No, what
Oh,
is
I
it?
love this theme for
It's a
Paramedic.
movie.
I forgot about
You
this.
haven't seen it?
Nope.
It's about this monster called Godzilla, who grows to an enormous size in a nuclear test and goes on a rampage in Tokyo.
Nice, James. That's awesome.
Nuclear test, huh? Then the Marshall Islands must be crawling with giant monsters right about now.
It's just make-believe.
Maybe that's why my pants have been so tight lately.
Snake, it's a movie, not a report out of Los Alamos.
I know. So then what happened?
Godzilla is immune to all weapons, and humanity has no way to stop the monster. Dr. Shirazawa develops a new type of weapon, but meanwhile, Godzilla is getting closer and closer to Tokyo, obliterating everything in its path. It was originally a Japanese movie, but they made an American version, too. I recommend seeing the original Japanese one if you ever get the chance. It's mostly mindless fun, but it's also got a serious anti-nuke message as well.
Where can I see the original?
You'll just have to go to Japan.
Really? That's too bad.
Well, if you wait 40 years, you might be able to see it in America, too.
Paramedic
Why's
being
that?
prescient.
2004 will be Godzilla's 50th birthday.
You think they're still going to be making Godzilla movies then?
Of course.
This game came
Everybody
out in
loves
2004.
You sure know a lot about movies.
I don't suppose you're the movie-watching type, are you?
Not really.
Okay.
It's
then
fair
I'll
enough,
tell you
sir.
everything I know. When the going gets tough,
Tell Andrea
movies
about
can
that.
save your life. It's always good to be able to look at things from a different perspective when you get in a jam. That's the magic of movies.
No kidding. Well, I guess it might at least make a nice distraction.
That's the spirit, Snake. Have a little fun.
Sweet. Alright, let's look at other options here. Options. Okay, so I can change the camera if I wanted to try the non-authored version later. Face paint, we've got the Raiden mask, which doesn't help at all. The woodland paint is probably good. Olive drab, tiger stripe, leaf. Cool. Backpack, what do we got here? Some days you feed on a tree frog. It's ordeal. I think we have just about all of this right now, so. Yeah, that's great. Whoops. I wasted some suppressor there. Yeah, if you can avoid spoiling stuff for the benefit of folks who are watching for the first time, thank you. Or you can be very cagey, you can say the final boss, you know, rather than specifically naming the character. No worries.
I see you've caught a tree frog. The tree frog is a green frog that's found throughout Asia. It's arboreal, spending most of its time in shrubs and bushes. Use the tranquilizer gun to catch one alive. I bet you could scare an enemy good if you toss one at him. But the tree frogs that live in that jungle are a lot bigger than ordinary tree frogs.
They've got an appetite, huh?
You've got a one-track mind, don't you? But seriously,
No, it's a different
that is
thing,
one theory.
Spiky.
However, there are people who think it's a mutation caused by nuclear testing and waste from the research facility.
Do you think they're safe to eat?
I forgot about the throwing
Is that
animals at
all you
guards,
ever
too.
think about?
Kojima
What
really
else
did
is
start
there?
coming up with lots of
Lots.
ways to fight bosses in
what?
this one.
Like why a frog would get so big in the first place. Whether it's a temporary phenomenon created by a unique environment, or a permanent mark of evolution, or a product of the toxic waste coming out of the research facility. If it is the waste that's causing it, then it means humans are interfering with the ecosystem. It really makes you think about the changing relationship between...
This isn't interesting.
Oh, fine. Be that way.
So, how about it?
You mean, is it edible?
Yeah,
How does it
Well, I guess it's
taste?
probably okay.
probably.
I don't know. The guide doesn't say anything.
Pretty useless guide, if you ask me.
Well, try one for dinner and you can help improve it.
Snake, be careful of that swamp.
What's dangerous about it?
It's a bottomless swamp.
A bottomless swamp.
Bottom
Yes.
swamp.
The mud in that swamp is highly viscous. It will stick to your body like tar. It will be impossible for you to swim. If you get swallowed by the bottomless swamp, you won't be able to escape
Cans
on your
with
own.
two holes in them,
Once
stuffed
you
with steel
sink
wool.
down to about
Really
head level, you'll be trapped for good.
interesting.
Make sure you get out before that happens.
So, I have to make sure I don't sink too far. Got it.
Snake, wait.
There's more.
Yes.
What?
Crocodiles.
Crocodiles?
Yes.
Crocodiles. Like the reptile.
The one right
That's
in front of you,
correct. More
Snake.
accurately, they're Indian gavials.
What are crocs doing deep in this forest?
You'll have to ask Paramedic about that one. Paramedic?
Yes. The Indian gavial is a crocodile that originally lived in freshwater regions in India and Nepal.
Why are Indian crocodiles way out here?
They're captive crocodiles that
Why
were
did
brought
they
here for
import
research purposes, but
Okinawan
escaped
sand
and
here?
became wild again.
Singing sand.
Indian gavials are large creatures. Adult males grow to over 6 meters in length. You'll never catch one alive, even if you use the tranquilizer gun.
Got it. So, how do they...
Taste? Yes, I did look into that. You know what they always say. Tastes like chicken.
Sounds delicious.
There
But
is
be
a
careful
jungle. The
when
Soviet
capturing
Union
an
is
Indian gavial.
huge.
Normally they're
Specifically,
cowardly creatures.
just Russia
but
is
the ones in
huge.
the forest there are belligerent. Apparently they attack humans.
What do you mean?
They weren't the direct subject of any serious research, but some think they may have become violent as a side effect of the atomic research that was conducted nearby.
Oops. Alright. See if we can find something to do with the crocodiles here. I've played Pitfall before, I know how this works. Well, you get the mud on your camo and it makes your camo worse. Holy shit, there was another one in there. That freaked me out. Ooh. Can I take the suppressor off? I can. Fantastic. Get the bees to leave me alone here. Okay, getting in the mud looks like does that. Solino Yarsk, I think they said? I can totally see you. Hey, it's a snake. How do I use the knife? Does anyone remember? So I don't want to shoot. Oh wait, I have to select it separately. Okay, but I can still. It's saying that it's available for CQC. Okay, got it. I understand now. Got a snake. How does it taste?
I see you caught yourself a reticulated python. The reticulated python is said to be the longest snake in the world. The biggest ones can grow up to 10 meters in length. Although they're not poisonous, they're still very dangerous, so be careful around them. They have a highly ferocious temperament, and they can swallow whole, even large animals like deer and pigs. Their most distinguishing feature is the mesh pattern of their scales. This pattern acts as a highly effective natural camouflage. If you think there might be a reticulated python about, pay close attention to your surroundings. Otherwise, you could get bitten before you even know it's there.
Yeah, but how does it taste?
It's a huge snake, but you should be able to capture it alive by using the tranquilizer gun.
I should probably do that.
I'll bet if you capture one and throw it at an enemy, it'll give him a good scare.
Right. But how do they taste?
Huh?
Do they taste good?
You're actually going to eat one.
Why else would I be asking?
Cannibal.
What was that?
Nothing. Let's see what the guide says. Ah, you're in luck. It says they taste pretty good.
Good. I can hardly wait.
Ugh.
I love how excited Snake is. She's like, says they taste pretty good. Should you even read the name of the game, Paramedic? Even paying attention. I know, right? Scarf? Looks great. Still very wordy and preachy and cutscene-y, but it's much more straightforward.
Major, I've spotted 2 enemy soldiers.
They're probably KGB troops sent to guard Sokolov.
The R1 idea is pretty smart.
And grenades.
Snake, your presence in Soviet territory is already a violation of international law. You can't let the Kremlin find out that the CIA and the American government are involved. Contact with the enemy is strictly prohibited. Don't engage them in battle either. This is a stealth mission. Got that?
The Major is right. The point of this mission is to sneak through the jungle without being seen. The success of the mission depends on how well you use your camouflage.
Camouflage.
Change your camouflage by selecting Camouflage from the Survival Viewer.
Sure, but
The
how do they
uniform
taste?
option lets you pick your uniform,
Long pig.
while the face option lets you change your face paint. Choosing camouflage that blends in with your surroundings will help you conceal yourself more effectively. Also, don't forget that anything that moves will stand out in the jungle. If you just stand up and run around like an idiot, you're bound to be spotted. But if you crawl instead, you should be able to sneak by without being noticed. You can see how effective your camouflage is by looking at the Camo Index. The Camo Index shows how well your current camouflage blends in with the surrounding
I'm impressed
area.
that this system works so well,
The higher
given
the
that it
value,
requires you to
the harder
pause and
you
go
are
into
to
a
spot,
menu,
and vice
right,
versa.
constantly. But I think it's because the individual
The key
sneaking
is to make
segments are
yourself
short enough
one
that it
with
doesn't feel
nature.
annoying.
Keep that in mind as you go along, okay?
If it were any other type of game, that would be frustrating, and they didn't have like a hotkey to switch between them. And I don't think it really needs one. %in grass. It's good to know. I guess I must already have the preset, you control the camera mode on, huh? Because normally I think it would be top down here and I wouldn't be able to see this guy coming toward me. That's okay, we'll try it. I haven't played with it before. Get this guy out of the way. Like how this one, they don't need to explain that you can't take their guns. Like, hey, you're just not going to take their guns. It's fine. We don't need to have some weird nanomachine coding thing that keeps us from stealing enemy weapons. 2 bullets. That's nice. Hey, there's something in there. Bug juice. But that may have been the, was it the thermal goggles in the demo? It's been a long time since I played it. Bug juice. Bug repellent. Keeps hornets and leeches. Oh, that's cool. I forgot that was even in the game. If you have a cigar instead of the cigarettes, too. Let's try camo while we're down here. Tiger Strike MVP, I feel like. Oh, there's some fruits up there. Like how it goes to first-person view when you're in the grass, so you can't take advantage as much. Shit, trouble. Get into the grass, please. Faster and faster now. Nothing to see here. Move along. Everything's fine. Everything's good. Yay, camouflage. More hush puppy bullets. I'll take it. I think there's at least one more guard out there somewhere. Grenades. Do want to get some of that fruit. I think I have to shoot it down though. Nothing that way. I've got to watch my stamina too. I love you can still take cover next to trees. It just works really well. It's a lot about the Metal Gear series that surprisingly converts over to a jungle, right? Even though the rest of the series has been all indoor focused. Let's see, what can I do for trees? Tree bark. Sweet. Hooray, hit scan. No bullet drop off. A little bit, yeah, but usually not with a sneaking focus. Metal Gear 2 did. The whole swamp section. I didn't even think about the bottom of the swamp, that's a good point. Glad they didn't bring back that same puzzle, though, that would have been frustrating. 22 bullets. This way. Hey, there's one of the frogs. Yeah, so this is the secret if you're trying to get everything in the game. You have to shoot all these frogs. I think you can use them to distract the guards. Isn't that how you get the stealth camo in this one? Oh shit. Somebody saw something. Hold on. Hooray for being able to roll into a crawl.
Guess I'm seeing things.
You're seeing things. Let's see where this guy is who says he's seeing things, though. Oh, there he is. Holy shit. Nothing to see here. Everything's fine. Move along. You're good.
Just my imagination.
No alerts or Tsuchinoko. What do you get for all frogs? Do you remember? There he goes. Pretty sure that was the last guard. I love that they replaced the Japanese text in every map with the Russian text. Cyrillic. It's really cool. Flavorful for the game. There wasn't really any reason for the Japanese text in Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2. That smile. Naked Snake is the best. There's another frog up there too. Oh, this game's too good. The frogs are stealth camo. Hey, I got an achievement for that. I think you can also shoot out the ropes on this bridge to make the guards fall off of it. Counts as a kill, but it's still kind of cool that they have that option. I think this is possible. Watch it not work. There we go. XM16E1. Oh, and pentamine. I didn't know that was around and used for that purpose that far back, unless if it's not even a real thing. It's also possible. State-of-the-art assault rifle being field tested by the U.S. Army. Uses small caliber, high muzzle velocity, something ammunition. This must have been what you were talking about, 6-gun. But I'm not sure if it shares ammo with other things. Maybe it does. Thought it was just like bonus flavor text, basically. Siberian ink cap. Loco Moloco, type of fruit, I guess. Oh, I can just eat it from here. That's if I wanted to throw it at something. Taste unknown. Said to be fairly tasty. So does she give you details on anything that you haven't eaten yet and haven't called her about yet? I can try it really quick.
I see you've got yourself a Baltic hornet's nest.
Tsuchinoko's the Infinity Face Paint.
Baltic hornets are a variety of hornets that inhabit that area. The difference between them and other hornets is that they produce honey in their nests. Inside the nests are larvae, pupa, and adults. You can eat them all. In particular, the honey you find inside the nest is delicious and full of nutrients. It's easy to digest and helps pep you up when you're feeling tired. In short, it's the perfect survival food.
Great.
Honey can also be used as a burn ointment. When honey is applied to a burn, it creates a protective coating over the skin.
This game is so cool.
When you knock down a hornet's nest,
Diazepam
a
and
burn ointment will
okay.
appear along with it.
And diazepam
so
is used for
don't
that?
forget to pick it up. Of course, the hornets aren't going to give up their nest without a fight. If you knock a nest down,
is it
a large swarm of hornets will come
trademarked
flying
name?
out, so be careful.
Cool. I should eat something, so we'll do something here. Let's see. Feed on a tree frog. Sort of deal.
Disgusting.
Barely noticeable. Oh, interesting. I guess the Twin Snakes called it Entasmine. Text animals with sound waves. Some objects' motions. All mushrooms. It's Valium. Yeah, nutritional content equals taste. I like that whatever camo he's wearing carries over into the cutscenes and the codec calls.
Major, I've reached the abandoned factory where Sokolov is supposedly being held. This place is a dump. I can't see Sokolov from here. The security is pretty tight. There are sentries posted around the perimeter. I wonder how many are inside.
Oh yeah,
Your objective, Sokolov,
I thought
is
that taste was
inside
a
the
direct
factory. They should be
map
holding him
around
in a
to
room in the northeast section.
stamina recovery.
Northeast section. Got it.
Be careful. Your
Hey,
mission
he
is to bring
repeated it like a
Sokolov
normal
back
human
alive.
being instead of saying
He must
northeast
not be
section.
exposed to any kind of danger. Do not approach Sokolov while in the alert phase.
Right.
Oh, and one more thing, Snake.
You mean there's more?
No, it's just that when you get to Sokolov, I want you to tell him something from me.
And that is?
Sorry for being so late.
Is that all?
Yes.
Understood. Beginning my approach to the target.
Let's do it. Alright, so let's do the tree bark. Really? Tiger Stripe. Okay. Trust you, game. Yeah. Snake almost says it. Is the timing right in this game? Had that song been written? I'm probably playing it close. Yeah, you couldn't do this camera swinging like this. I guess this camera makes sense for this game since it's not all top-down indoor environments. Seems reasonable. This was where the demo ended. You could get inside the building, then nothing happened after that in the demo. Might be somebody up top there, I'm not sure though. "5 years before it was written." Gotcha. Pizza's the ultimate food. That might make an actual noise too that enemies can hear, I'm not sure.
What's wrong?
Nothing to see here. Move along.
I think I saw something.
You ain't seen shit. Oh shit, I can't climb up here, can I?
Huh. Guess I'm seeing things.
You're just seeing things. Don't know who it was who was seeing things, actually. Hey, it's a snake. Let me capture it here. Awesome. Oh, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Don't worry. Can I keep it? Hello? Nice propagable. The dream, right? It's probably Sokolov that we're hearing here with the AP sensor. Can guards hear the beeping on the AP sensor? I do like the whole battery system in this game. It's cool.
You must be Sokolov.
That's me.
Are you one of Volgin's men? You'll never get it from me.
No. I'm a CIA agent. I've come to escort you back to the other side of the Iron Curtain.
You're CIA?
Yeah.
Gonna
I was
grab
sent
my
by Major
junk to
Zero,
check.
The man who got you out 2 years ago.
Zero?
I have a message from him.
What is it?
He said to tell you sorry for being so late.
Did he now?
What does it mean?
It means he's a man of his word. But we've
Sounds
got
like
no
I don't
time for this.
know what you want from me at that.
Before they arrive.
Andrea face.
Who's they?
Colonel Volgin of Gru. You
Colonel
in the West
Volgin?
know him as Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt? Never heard of him.
He's a member of the Army's
So, like,
extremist faction.
Snake
a man who
still
seeks to
asks
seize
if,
control of the motherland.
Repeating
Ever
what
since the
someone
Cuban
just
Missile
said, Metal
Crisis
Gear
2
type
years
questions,
ago,
but they
Khrushchev
tend
has
to
been
localize it
pursuing a
better where he
policy of
follows up
peaceful
with something.
coexistence with the West. Despite resistance and criticism from hawks in the army
Shaking the
and
shoe.
the provincial authorities, Khrushchev has managed to suppress the opposition so far. But the failure of his agricultural policies has put him in a precarious position.
Khrushchev
And
RP.
on top of that, the tragedy last November.
President Kennedy's assassination.
Precisely.
Yes,
In
Ben,
a
you're very
sense,
furry.
Khrushchev has lost his biggest partner, and his power base is rapidly crumbling away. A certain group is plotting to
I love
use
that
this
style of
opportunity
art.
to seize power
Kind of
by
blurry.
rallying the anti-government forces,
They use that in
overthrowing
MGS1 and
Khrushchev,
2.
and installing Brezhnev
Who's
and
the
Kosygin in his place.
artist
The
behind that?
mastermind behind this plot
Has
is
he done any other,
Colonel
he or she done any
Volgin
other
of the
games
Gru.
other than Metal Gear Solid?
He has control over another secret weapons research facility much like this one, OKB-812, known as the Granin Design Bureau, and is using it to further his plans. Is not enough to satisfy him. Now he's
Shinkawa.
plotting to seize the secret
Is that
weapon
a
I
man or
have
a
been
woman?
developing here and use it as leverage in his bid for power. The
Please don't knock it over,
intelligence
Ben, for
says
the
that
love of
they're going
God.
to make their move during the test.
Then, the soldiers outside.
Exactly. They wouldn't need that many men just to keep me inside. Their orders were to prevent Colonel Volgin from capturing me. Even if it meant killing me in the process, or so it would seem. Volgin will come. I'm sure of it. You must get me out of here before then.
Leave it to me.
By the way, your Russian is superb. Where did you learn to speak it?
Do you like that they're just having Snake
From my
speak Russian
mentor.
without having him have an accent or
Is that so?
going into actually speaking Russian, which might not have been great from David Hayter.
Having second thoughts?
No.
He works with
I
Kojima.
have no
Interesting.
love for this
I'd
place.
have to see
Let's
what
go.
Artie does in Zone of the Enders then. What are you doing over there? Oh, you're calling someone.
Major, this is Snake. Sokolov is safe with me. He's doing fine. No injuries.
Good work, Snake. Now hurry up and get Sokolov to the recovery point. We'll rendezvous with you there.
Roger.
What about the sentries?
No one spotted me.
That
I see.
changes based
What about
on
the boss?
We lost contact
whether you
with the
triggered
boss
any
some time ago.
alerts.
What happened?
Oh,
It's
cool.
probably just
That's
a weak
trending.
signal. Just hurry and get Sokolov out of there.
Working on it. Yes, be ready to help fight, Sokolov. You got this. All those guards are probably still sleeping, or this would be very bad for Sokolov. I really like Naked Snake's stance throughout the game. He's always kind of walking or crouched like that. There's this thing where he puts like the back of his foot down first, his heel, and then rolls forward. He's in marching band. Always holds his knife underneath the gun.
So this is the legendary boss.
Oh man, get hype.
Huh? We meet at last.
You're from the Ocelot unit of Spetsnaz. What's a GRU soldier doing here?
Seems really dangerous.
Soldier?
Spin it like that. Soldier? They added these crazy gestures to Ocelot in this game that he didn't really do in MGS 1 and 2, but
He's the Ocelot commander.
it's funny.
That's Major Ocelot to you. And don't you forget it.
Ocelot unit.
Sokolov is ours.
I wonder if Josh Keaton
Get out of here.
studied
And
older
Ocelot
Ocelot.
never lets his prey escape.
What?
Still doing the ricochet shit. The random KGB card is unhelpfully confused. I'm also just tracking that one because Raiden did it constantly.
I can't say it feels good to kill a comrade, even if it is for the GRU.
Sokolov, take cover.
He's gotta pee himself, right? We gotta keep the tradition.
Huh. You're not the boss, are you?
Because he's an ocelot. Oh my god. Kojima is such a fucking...
What is that stance?
I forgot about that. That stance.
Huh. That gun.
He gets everyone to do this James Bond
If
villain
you're not
laugh.
the boss,
His henchman.
then die.
Oh, the little smile on his face after that happens. CQC? What is that stance?
Major! Leave it! Shoot the other one!
Oh, there's so many good memes in this game. Crab battle, not the least of which. I like the way that they decided, so Kojima was struggling with having the main character be a badass and be played by the player, which is part of why you play as Raiden in Metal Gear Solid 2. You just like, ah, fuck it, in MGS3. Snake is still a badass in the cutscenes, and then you can be an idiot when you're playing. So. What is that stance? Double judo.
Impossible. You ejected the first bullet by hand, didn't you? I see what you were trying to do. But testing a technique you've only heard about in the middle of battle wasn't very smart. You were asking to have your gun jam on you. Besides, I don't think you're cut out for an automatic in the first place. You tend to twist your elbow to absorb the recoil. That's more of a revolver technique.
That's so cool. I love that about this.
American dog!
I love that he doesn't just kill him. He's giving him tips. The relationship between Naked Snake and Ocelot is fantastic.
But that was some fancy shooting. You're pretty good.
Pretty good.
He's even doing it when he's on the ground. Oh, this game's great. I feel like that scene is just so much more emotionally charged than all of the preachy crap in MGS2, where it's like they did a lot with show don't tell, and it was talking, and it was much more
I read
brief.
you. Snake, you all right?
Tells you a lot about Snake, tells you a lot about Ocelot.
These guys were after Sokolov.
It still could be
Apparently
better,
they were
but for
taking orders from
Kojima,
a
that's
brew colonel
like
named Volgan.
he's making a movie with no
Part
voice
of an
acting.
internal Soviet power struggle, according to Sokolov. Something between the KGB
No dialogue,
and GRU, between Khrushchev's supporters and Volgan's.
Sokolov was being guarded by
I
the
think he just beat the
KGB
shit
and
out of
hunted
him
by
after multiple
GRU?
judo throws.
Snake, it sounds like this could be even hotter than Cuba.
I don't like it. Something about the whole thing stinks.
I agree. You'd better hurry.
Sokolov ran off by himself, but I'll catch up to him.
We're counting on you.
Oh, is Ocelot the only way to get a mousetrap? I didn't know that. Probably won't end up doing the Tsuchinoko because I don't remember where it is. It's because he's an ocelot. Is that why that is? All right, let me save really quick, and we're gonna do something that's bad.
Do you want to say?
But it's important to like the memery of Snake Eater, and also important to understand something that might happen in the D&D game that we're going to be vodcasting after this. The D&D game that we'll be vodcasting is technically a prequel in the middle of my campaign, so I told my players that if they did anything that
Snake,
completely disagreed with what happened in the actual campaign later, I'd have to find a way to resolve that.
These scientists are investigating a place deep in the Amazon called the Black Lagoon, and they get picked
I'm
off
gonna get
one
it in
after
time
the
for
other by
Tsuchinoko.
this fishman thing. And there was this scene when the heroine is going for a swim, and the creature sneaks up on her from underwater. Oh, I thought my heart was going to stop. I mean, of course, the 3D effects in It Came From Outer Space were a lot more intense, but
It wouldn't be referring to you
Forgot
coming
that
from outer space,
that was
would it?
in 3D.
how rude! Why do you say that?
Because no one on Earth could be as charming as you.
Aw.
Fine, I'll just get to the point, Snake. Be careful of what's around you when you're in the water.
You can connect all these movies
Just
to stuff.
imagining you swimming in those jungle rivers makes me think of you being attacked by a fish man.
I appreciate the concern.
Fishmen aren't the only things that'll attack you in the water. Really be careful out there.
Okay.
Will do.
And don't be attacking any pretty girls going for a swim, either.
Are you calling me a fish man?
You started it.
Alright, here we go. Let's do this. I think I have to... Do we get it from him? No, but we can use this one. I like the whole weight limit thing, too. It's a cool idea.
Snake, what have you done? You changed the future. You've created a time paradox.
Do you see the achievement it gives you? Problem solved, series over. That was fucking awesome. Man, it really seems like the people who come up with achievement names at both Sony and Microsoft are pretty on the ball. I assume that's some combination of effort from the developer of the game and from Sony and Microsoft directly. Yeah, I have to exit to continue. I think it will remember that. And it changes to say time paradox there. You can do whatever you want in Metal Gear, but don't shoot Ocelot in the face. It was totally worth it to see the achievement title, though. That was pretty amazing. Problem solved. Series over. Oh, bummer. Thanks for the heads up, then. Save my bacon. I love how most of them are knocked out from getting CQC'd, but the one guy is sleeping because Snake shot him with the trank gun. It's just good attention to detail. Created a time paradox. What have you done? Might just be Ocelot that has stuff on him. Alright. Mousetrap. Probably need to change camo here. Back to the leaf camo. It's a different place where I have to set the mousetrap though, right? I thought it was near a boss fight much later in the game. Unless if there's two places you can get it.
You okay?
No, there must be two places to get it then.
Ocelot unit.
Spetsnaz?
Yes. The best crew has to offer. They're coming for me.
Gotcha.
I'm finished.
Calm down. I'll get you out of here, I promise.
That's a
And we've
cooler
got
way
some
to
of
do
the
the
best
secret
backup
then.
we could
I think
ask
when it was
for.
first discovered, it was in a forest near a boss fight.
That's what they were making you build.
Yes. The Shagohod. The treading behemoth.
Treading
a tank
behemoth.
capable of launching nuclear IRBMs.
It can launch nuclear missiles from that kind of terrain.
Oh, yes. And without support from friendly units.
A nuclear-equipped tank capable of operating solo.
Sounds like a weapon to rival Metal Gear. Yeah.
Is that
I'm glad they
thing
didn't
finished?
do that, right?
No,
It probably
this is
required
only the end of phase
extreme
one.
restraint on the part of
Truly
Kojima.
finished until we complete phase 2.
Sort of like how
Phase 2.
Lulu's not a main
The
character in
weapon's
Final Fantasy
true
X 2, right? Extreme restraint.
If it is completed and the Colonel gets his hands on it, it will mean the end of the Cold War.
The end
That
of the
sounds
Cold
good.
War.
Yes.
Don't we want that? Not the way I'm
The age
talking.
of fear will truly begin.
A world war.
I had no choice but to cooperate. I didn't want to die. I wanted to see my wife and child again in America. Please, take me to America, quickly.
It's a plan.
They cannot complete it without my help.
Got it. Let's go.
They couldn't get it to work. Yeah, that makes sense. So they made basically Lulu. Pain is Shmulu. Yeah, right, Yukubo. That's what's so crazy about that. Totally makes sense for Yuna. It's really interesting to me that that's where they drew the line in 10-2. Monumental restraint. Right, the same.
Boss?
Good work, Jack.
What are you doing here?
Sokolov comes with me.
So over the top. I think I did actually play this game after I ended my phase of getting super hype about stuff and reading all the news for every single new release. I decided at this point I wasn't going to do that anymore because it ruined games for me. So this was a big surprise, Cobra Unit. Bees! Yeah, Lisa's not here, is she?
Oh, no, not the bees! Not the bees! Ah!
There you go, Yukupo. I'll tell Lisa, she'll be so happy. I'll probably ping her.
My friends, let us fight together again.
I have waited long for this day.
We will fight with you once more.
Welcome back.
It's the same parrot from Metal Gear Solid 2.
Now that all 5 of us are together,
The end is my
it's
favorite
time
boss.
we go to the depths of hell
Maybe in gaming
itself.
history? I'd have to think about that. I love how, like, over the top cartoonish this is. Like, everybody has to show off what they
It's
can
raining
do.
blood. Is he crying?
Probably shouldn't do this game non-lethally now that I think about it. I think I'll transition from doing a non-lethal playthrough after the Virtuous Mission here. We'll stop being virtuous.
Kuwabara, Kuwabara.
So they decided to just keep the Japanese phrase. What does it mean to say Kuwabara, Kuwabara? Is it warding off lightning or something when you're out in a storm? It's interesting that they didn't even try to translate it.
Ah, what a joyful scene.
Huh.
Colonel Vogan.
Welcome to my country. And to my unit.
Zap Brannigan.
Boss, What is this?
I'm defecting to the Soviet
It's like a
Union.
prayer to ward off lightning.
Sokolov is a little
Okay.
gift from my new hosts.
Recoilless nuclear warheads.
Yeah, just straight up giving him superpowers. You got a Beamancer,
Gift for me.
This can't be happening.
got a lightning wizard
Who is
guy,
he?
lightning zap
Another one of your
Brannigan.
disciples?
Like literally zap. Translate some
taking you
mulberry
with us?
fields. Interesting.
No, this one is still just a child. Too pure for us cobras.
Spooky ghost.
He has not yet found an emotion to carry into battle.
I kind of feel bad for
What
the
are you
Fury
talking about?
comparison.
Think you can pull the trigger?
Yeah. It's like that was pretty sweet. It's a lethal weapon for it. He took my gun apart with one deft move. It's taking the James Bond stuff up to 11, right? Infusing comic book villains into an already pretty silly James Bond story. Jeez. You got CQC'd, punk.
He's seen my face. We can't let him live. If Khrushchev finds out about this, we're finished. He must die.
It must be really hard for him to line up those bullets between his
He's my
fingers.
apprentice. I'll take care of him.
Got all zapped up for nothing.
Jack, you can't come with us.
I want to be Cobra too. My name is Snake. Some kind of judo. Here goes the bandana.
The new blood has been rejected.
Right. Oh, this game's so good. It's ridiculous, but it's aware of its
we done
ridiculousness.
Now, onto Sokolov's research facility.
I think that's really the difference. The more I'm thinking about it,
Shadowheart is ours.
like MGS 1 and 2 feel sincere, which is usually a plus for Japanese fiction. Like Katamari Damacy is sincere as hell. It's
Drift away.
very comical because of how seriously they take it.
My place is with them now.
But when you're trying to be preachy and you're also being sincere, you kind of roll your eyes at it. Like, really, Kojima, do we need to do another 3 Return of the King endgame cutscenes here? But Snake Eater, he's very self-aware of how ridiculous it's all become, and he's kind of constantly winking at the audience, which you only see a little bit of in MGS2, like the infinite ammo headband thing. Yeah. Push you off the bridge, you're probably going to end up being in better health than when you first started. But it's interesting because he's so self-aware in this one, and he dials it up to 11 and winks at you, and he stops doing that in MGS4, I felt like. Goes back to being really ultra serious. It's the same with the old school James Bond movies, like, you know, having characters like Pussy Galore and...
Snake, can you hear me?
They still have a strong fundamental story. I agree, Ludwig.
Barely.
Snake, listen to me. You need emergency medical treatment. Can you move?
Sort of.
You've got to get those wounds treated. Hang in there. All right, let's get you fixed up.
I
Paramedic?
called the boss more. I forgot
Okay,
to call
Snake.
people.
Just relax and it'll all be over before you know it. Stay with me. I've seen people in worse shape before. Think you can handle it?
Major. The boss. She's defected.
We'll talk about that later. First, we've got to get you patched up.
Okay, here we go. First, open the survival viewer with the start button. If you select cure, you can start the treatment. Healing is divided into treatment using medicine with the item window button and surgical treatment using the weapon window button.
It's got 999 of everything in the whole
Your
tutorial
injuries
there.
include a fractured left elbow and rib bone, and lacerations on your upper arms, right elbow,
She's
and abdomen.
effective? Virtual
They need
Mission.
to be fixed using
Nerd.
surgical treatment. Move the healing cursor with the left
Guys need to
stick
get a
to the
hearing
affected
checked.
part of your body. Once you've selected the affected area, hold the weapon window button and use the left stick to select the medical item and then press the enter button. With this method, you can use items to help your recovery process. To treat a bone fracture, first secure the affected area with a fastener and then wrap it in bandages.
Can't you use
That
your
should do it.
cigar to, like,
For lacerations,
cauterize a
you'll need
wound or
disinfectant
something?
to clean the wound, sutures to stitch it up, styptic to slow the flow of blood, and bandages to wrap the wound. If you do everything I mentioned, the wound should heal completely.
Maybe the cigar just,
Understood?
like, chills you out or something.
Yeah.
Stay with me. Go into the survival viewer and treat those wounds.
Cure. This is a really cool way to teach you about this system, too. I don't think you can get this injured before this sequence. No bandage applied and not disinfected. So, disinfect. Bleeding needs styptic, right? We suture it together. Bandage. Love that it keeps the old sound effects. This would work better if you didn't have camo on right now. I think you can actually see his injuries if you're in naked mode. I could have sworn the original game automatically had him naked here. Oh well. Alright, so we do disinfect, suture, styptic, bandage. Disinfect, suture, styptic, bandage. Disinfect. Yeah, removing a bullet after you apply bandage. I actually didn't know you could do it in any order. It's interesting. Okay, so we have to do the splint first, right? Sweet. Oh, cigar removes leeches, that's what it was. Yeah, that makes sense. You're usually not that injured in the game. There may have been something where using the cigar calms you down like the cigarettes do in MGS 1 and 2 as well, right? Depends on how bad you are, that's true. I think every single time you get shot, you have to take the bullet out, right? Does it ever travel all the way through you? Oh, that's useful.
Good job, Snake.
We're coming to get you now. Just stay where you are. We'll drop a recovery balloon. Can you set it up?
Oh yeah, I'm all about recovery balloons. Thanks for the heads up. Did it actually prompt you to press R1 there? I think there's some secret places where you can press R1, right? Chocolate Rob? Well, I guess I'll just hold it during all cutscenes just in case. It doesn't always prompt you, and there's occasionally an Easter egg.
Shagohod.
need that Fox engine pachinko machine. Some kind of gear. Lacerations from knife attacks, burns from explosions, broken bones from falls. Oh, only bosses do bullet wounds. I could have sworn that you had to deal with them most of the time. Maybe it was just a chance every time someone shoots you. Interesting. Davy Crockett, right?
Excellent.
That was an actual...
A great success. Thanks to the boss and her cobras, I have both Sokolov and the Shagohod.
It's weird, Ocelot. You're weird.
What are we going to do with the girl?
Who is she?
That might be it.
Apparently she's Sokolov's woman.
What's with your face?
She's a nice catch. I'll take her. Not so fast, my dear. A kiss of death?
UKGB.
We may be able to use her. She has spunk.
Shall we take her back to the base?
Perhaps we should.
Volgan is a huge creeper.
Sokolov's research facility. I think it's time I gave this marvelous new toy a try.
Colonel, even if they are our enemies, they're still our countrymen.
But it won't be me that pulled the trigger.
It's a nuke.
It'll be our friend, the American.
No, you're good. Bless you.
You're going to nuke your fellow Russians?
Remember the Alamo.
No, bummer, Rob. It's on YouTube. There'll probably be another one. I think Galactic Kodiak's gonna keep it as a sub-block game. Really like that game, though. Remember the Alamo because it's Davy Crockett missile. Snake is having a really bad day. All the really cool mechanics in Vagrant Story came up in that second part too. You don't really get to see the timed attacks, chain attack system in the first hour. Seems like a really bad decision, Vulcan. It's like a mini nuke, though. I don't know if that's an actual thing. Davy Crockett missile. It's an invention of Konami. Excuse me. It wasn't a rocket launcher. It was a mini nuke. I'm muting myself.
What a thrill. Darkness and silence through the night. What a thrill. I'm searching and I'll melt into you. What a fear in my heart. you're so supreme. I give my life, not for honor, but for you. In my time, there'll be no one else.
Oh, I didn't know that about the direction buttons and the shoulder buttons. That's cool. That's awesome. Good call.
It's the way I fly to you. I'm still in a dream, snake eater. Someday you go through the rain, and someday you'll feed on a tree frog. It's ordeal, the trial to survive. For the day we see new light, I give my life, not for honor, but for you. In my time, there'll be no one else. Crime, it's the way I fly to you. I'm still in a dream, snake eater. I'm still in a dream, snake eater.
Dude, that's too fucking cool. I had no idea that was coming when I played this the first time. It blew my mind. I was like, this is so cool. It took me a few minutes to realize that it was James Bondy with all the snakes all over the place. Why is it not doing on your playlist is a very good question. They nailed the style, right? That's what's so cool about it.
Currently flying over the Arctic Ocean, altitude 30,000 feet, approaching Soviet airspace. Arriving at the designated drone launch point. Drone oil pressure and voltage are nominal.
I'm just gonna get the
Payload
game
oxygen
audio
supply is
and
nominal.
my
Power
webcam
supply to payload
to
antifreeze
sync up.
system shows no problems.
I do a total
gusts.
lip sync for your life, Snake
All
Eater.
systems go for drone detachment.
I generally don't like lyrics in game music. I'm really addicted to the like old school melody focused like NES, SNES music, but that's an exception for me.
So instead, we'll be using one of our newest weapons. Snake, you're being given an honor on par with Alan Shepard.
I think it's the same song in Japanese, isn't it? Because they're trying to do this like James Bond thing, so it probably just had Japanese subtitles. Someone can confirm though if there is a Japanese version. It was written by a Japanese pop star, which is why it has some of the really weird lyrics, like "Some days you feed on a tree frog, it's an
Do me
ordeal."
a favor and tell the suits about visiting hours. I'll never get better with them assaulting me day and night with their questions.
Must be part of the top
Oh,
brass
original game music with
inquiry.
lyrics and Metal Gear
More like
Rising. Ugh.
interrogation. According to them, I'm
It's the
a
same in
traitor and
Japan.
an accomplice to
Perfect.
the boss's defection.
I think they'd want it to be in English
They're
to
just
nail
looking
the
for a
feel.
scapegoat.
Does that mean they're after you too?
Let's just say neither one of us is going to be made a national hero out of this.
Does this mean Fox is going to die?
No. This Fox is still one step ahead of the hound.
Fox is gonna
The
die.
reason I came to see you today, Jack, it's time for Fox to clear its name.
What are you talking about?
The situation has changed. We've still got a chance to come out of this one alive.
And that
Yeah,
same
what kind of chance?
artist
Don't
for
get too
this.
excited. Here, have a cigar. It's Cuban.
That's cool.
This morning, I had a meeting with the CIA.
They decided when they're going to execute us?
No,
Fox is
something even
gold.
bigger. Yesterday, the White House received an unexpected call.
This game just makes me very happy.
Johnson? Yes, I hear you, Mr. Chairman.
It was a hotline call from Khrushchev to President Johnson.
From the head of the Soviet Union?
That's right.
A few days ago, one of our country's
LBJ,
main
show him his dick.
bureaus,
Talk about it over the phone.
754, was destroyed in a nuclear explosion. At about the same time, our anti-aircraft radar picked up a signature that appeared to come from one of your military aircraft. Does any of this sound familiar to you? In retaliation, I have placed our armed forces on secondary alert. Depending on your response, I may be left with no choice but to order the military to maximum alert and unleash Armageddon.
That would be a bummer.
With the help of your predecessor, I was
not recall.
able to survive the Cuban incident.
Let me filibuster
But
you
my
for 6
power
minutes.
is not as great as it once was.
Khrushchev's power level
If
is decreased.
I am to survive this crisis, I must have your full cooperation.
I should have contacted you myself. Did you know that one of our soldiers defected to your country a week ago?
No.
So you haven't heard then. The man who arranged the defection was a GRU colonel by the name of Yevgeny Borosovich Volgin.
Volgin, of the Brezhnev faction. Go on. Who is the soldier?
Her name is the Boss. She's a living legend. During World War II, she was the one who led us to victory in that war. In Russia, you know her as Voyevoda.
You mean
Voyevoda.
the boss? The mother of your special forces?
Yes, that's the one. And she took 2 miniature nuclear shells
2
along
miniature
with her.
nuclear
The
shells?
boss took 2 miniature nuclear shells.
I'm
Creeping
afraid
Khrushchev's
so.
doing
I
it now.
believe they were a gift for her new hosts. The Davy Crockett Atomic Battle Group delivery system was completed 2 years ago. Serious problems were found with the launcher's range and precision. Although they were mass-produced, they've never been deployed in battle.
But Sokolov's research facility was completely wiped out. The whole area is polluted.
I can only offer you my deepest condolences over this terrible tragedy.
So, the boss, with Colonel Volgin's help, stole 2 experimental nuclear shells and took them with her as gift when she defected. Then, shortly thereafter, Sokolov's design lab, a top-secret military research facility, was destroyed by one of these weapons. Am I right so far?
Yes, that's correct.
And the American government denies any involvement in the affair. Is that right as well?
That's correct. We were not involved in any way.
Then what was a U.S. military aircraft doing on our radar screen?
Good
It
question.
was clearly in violation of our airspace. And yet you say it was not acting under your orders.
That's correct.
You expect me to believe that this was all the work of a single soldier?
Well, and
I
Volgin
don't
being an
know
asshole.
what else
but-
to tell you.
The army insists that this is all a ploy on your part.
I've said it once and I'll say it again. Our government had nothing to do with it.
And I would like dearly to believe you. However, I'm afraid my power over the military has weakened since the Cuban incident. I will need some kind of proof that this was not the action of the American government. You have 1 week. You must catch the boss yourselves and recover the remaining nuclear
Snake
device.
Eater itself is such a perfect Bondy title,
Then
right? It's got the
you must
sexual
find some
innuendo.
way to prove your innocence.
Prove our innocence.
Yes, preferably something painful. Prove to me that this is not merely another one of your tricks.
The boss should be close to Colonel Volgin. How about a little co-action?
I would not expect too much if I were you. The political situation here is unstable. And Colonel Volgin is a member of the Brezhnev faction.
It's
which
so
is
straightforward.
not the government. 1 week.
So
you have
reasonable.
Only 1 week. And if it is not too much to ask, do something about Volgin as well.
What is that supposed to mean?
Nothing means nothing. Call it a modest gentleman's agreement. to ensure our continued relationship.
They have to
What
keep
if
it
we
small, so
can't
it's a one-man
prove
sneaking
our
operation.
innocence?
Right.
Then I will be unable to restrain the military. I will be ousted, and they will seek their revenge.
A nuclear attack on the United States?
I leave the disposal of this situation entirely to your discretion, Mr. President.
Disposal.
If
Disposal.
you fail, it will mean the
Second
beginning
floor
of
basement.
a new world war.
No pressure.
To put it simply, in order to avoid a full-scale nuclear conflict, we have to prove that America was not involved in that explosion.
And eliminating the boss ourselves will prove America's innocence?
Right. The higher-ups have decided that you're the only one capable of pulling this off. You were her last apprentice. Screw this one up, and we'll both be 6 feet under. There's no choice.
Are the Russians going to be helping us?
The KGB has promised to lend us one of their communications satellites so that you and I can talk to each other.
That's it?
They've also put us in touch with a couple of insiders.
Insiders?
There was a defection in September 1960. Do you remember it?
You fucked up real bad last
You mean
time.
the 2 NSA codebreakers who went over to the Soviet Union?
Precisely. Since then, they've apparently been training with the KGB for exactly this kind of situation. Their code names are Adam and Eva. I've been told that Adam has infiltrated Vulcan's ranks. I've also arranged for him to provide you with an escape route.
Why?
You'll need to rendezvous with him when you get there.
Guy was asking by the boss. I think the point was that the boss was an unknown variable in Virtuous Mission. It was going pretty well until then. Everybody gets one.
Unidentified aircraft detected. Altitude 30,000 feet.
Yeah, why don't they just rock Gable?
It's fast. Estimated airspeed exceeding Mach 3. Bearing
You've already
south.
opened that door.
I'm about to lose
The
it.
genie's out of the bottle. Problem solved, series over. No, why don't they just give me Pokemon tracking local process simultaneously hardcore and just do things how why don't we just nuke the boss? There you go. Fox Die solves this problem quite handily. Good job, Snake. Not quite a Halo jump. That's actually a plot point in Metal Gear Solid 1. They're gonna nuke the island, giving you a chance to recover information before it happens. So.
I got blown pretty far off target.
Snake, let's go over your mission objectives one more time. Rescue Sokolov.
I did do that, Chocolate
Find
Rob.
out what's happened to the Shagohod, then destroy it.
You should
And
off the
finally,
poster.
eliminate the boss.
Eliminate the boss.
This mission will be codenamed Operation Snake Eater.
Because I'll be taking on the boss in our Cobra unit, right?
Don't forget about Colonel Volgin.
I'm not a hired killer.
It's not exactly a
I know,
snake.
but that was the Kremlin's demand.
Demand? You mean it wasn't just a request? What's it to us if the Khrushchev regime is threatened by the Colonel and his faction?
If supporting the current regime helps us avoid a nuclear exchange, then that's what we'll do.
And what are the CIA's demands?
Our priorities are the rescue of Sokolov and the destruction of the
You'll
Shagohod.
literally eat snakes.
Roger that, Major Tom.
Hold on, Snake.
What now?
I'm changing my codename. It turns out Tom wasn't the most auspicious choice.
What do you mean?
Well, the truth is, when I chose my code name, I picked the wrong one.
The wrong one?
Did you ever see the movie The Great Escape? It came out last year.
Oh, must have missed that one.
Anyway, it's based on a true story about prisoners who escaped from a POW camp in Nazi Germany. The prisoners dig 3 tunnels as part of their plan, but the Nazis
Like I
find
said,
2 of the tunnels
like
before they're
your
finished.
life. Don't
The
fuck it up.
prisoners succeed in escaping by using the last remaining tunnel. The names of those 3 tunnels were Dick, Harry, and Tom.
I get it. You used the
Major
name of
Dick.
the tunnel they
Gotcha.
escaped in as your code name because you thought it would bring you good luck.
Yes, that's exactly right. At least, that was the plan.
But
I got the name wrong. The one they escaped in was Harry. Tom was one of the unlucky tunnels that was discovered by the Nazis before it was finished. I watched the movie again just to make sure. In fact, I even ordered the actual film from the movie company.
That seems like
yeah,
overkill.
it doesn't sound like the greatest name to use. So what should I call you?
You know, let's just use Zero, like we've been doing all along.
All right, then. Major Zero it
I like that
is.
it changes there.
We'll start over from square one.
From square 0. My frequency is 140.85. Oh, I almost forgot. Paramedic is with us again on this mission.
Hooray!
Is this her last chance, too?
If we fail, she'll have her medical license revoked. It's more or less the same kind of fate.
That's kind of shitty.
Her frequency is the same as during the Virtuous Mission, 145.73. She'll be recording your mission data as well, just like the last time. That frequency is also the same, 140.96. And there's one more person on your support team. His name is Mr. Sigint. He's an expert on the latest in weapons and equipment technology. You'll be going up against some of the world's most advanced weaponry when you infiltrate the research facility. If you have any questions, just ask him. His frequency is 148.41.
Sigint,
Mr. Sigint. Got it.
Adam, your KGB contact, is waiting for you at the abandoned factory up ahead.
The same factory Sokolov was being held in last week.
Yes, meet up with Adam first. He's cleared the way for you to rescue Sokolov.
How will I know this Adam guy when I see him?
You'll know once you reach the factory. The whole area's been polluted by the fallout from that nuclear blast.
Yeah, great.
No one else would dare come close. The password is, "Who are the Patriots?" and "Lali Lule Lo."
Lali Lule Lo. Gotcha.
You've
That
been
was in the
equipped with a
trailers for this
45
game.
For this mission.
Messed
Be
up.
careful, it's noisy.
I thought standard Fox procedure was procure on-site weapons acquisition.
The circumstances are different this time. You're now on an official mission for the United States government. It would be necessary to make your presence known to a certain extent, to the Khrushchev regime at the very least. But remember, this is still a sneaking mission. Snake, if you
The
fail
year
this
ago
mission,
Snake
it will mean
line
an
from
all-out
Virtuous Mission, I
nuclear
think, was
war.
also in the trailer.
Keep that in mind and proceed with extreme caution.
Understood. Commencing Operation Snake Eater.
Don't worry about it, Propagable. Without spoiling anything. I think it's meant to make your eyebrow go up, but it makes sense.
Yo! You're Snake, aren't you?
That's me.
You're Sigint.
None other.
I heard that you're an expert on weapons, equipment, and cutting-edge technology.
Close.
Huh?
I am the expert on weapons, equipment, and cutting-edge technology. I'm the guy that designed your trank gun, active sonar, and
They had to have
motion
given him
detector.
some voice direction to know to
If you
make
wanna
that
know
sound with the
anything
ellipsis
about
there, right?
weapons or equipment you find in the field, just send me a message and ask. Later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later, Chocolate Rob. So I have played Snake Eater before. I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but since there are some people in chat who haven't played the Metal Gear series, we're going to try to stay spoiler-free for the most part in chat. I know it's rough. You can try to be vague, though. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Paramedic.
Snake, it's so good to hear from you again.
No kidding.
Same here. It's been a week, hasn't it?
4 days, actually.
Huh?
I visited you in the hospital. You were still unconscious, though.
Metal Gear Solid, it makes sense.
Yeah, but you were all wrapped up in bandages and tubes, so I couldn't do anything but look.
Better luck next time.
Let's hope so. But seriously, don't forget that you were like that until just yesterday. In fact, you really shouldn't even be on this mission.
Sigint's pretty young
Keep an
compared
eye
to
on your
Paramedic.
stamina gauge.
Everybody
If you
else.
start to run low, don't push yourself. Eat something to replenish your stamina. And try not to get yourself hurt. If you're wounded or get bitten by a venomous animal, go into the survival viewer immediately and treat yourself using Cure.
Yeah. I can see you still know how to nag.
You're welcome. And I can see you still don't know when to keep your mouth shut.
Maybe so. By the way, I heard you're going to lose your medical license if this mission fails.
Yes,
Suspicion
there was
males?
talk of that, but the mission won't fail, will it?
Of course not.
I
I
do.
believe in you.
The
But you know what?
glow-in-the-dark
I really don't
mushrooms
care about your medical
conversation,
license.
or the
Use that to force you to
box
participate
SIGINT
in this
conversation, or the
No,
Snake's
I
Nightmare
volunteered.
stuff.
Why?
Several
So
conversations
that I
connected to
can
each
watch
other.
over you.
The mushroom one is
Snake,
my
you're the
go-to,
best
like trying to
agent I've
explain
ever
why I
seen.
love this game
But
to
you
people who
push
have never
yourself
played
too
it before.
hard. You're reckless. Someone has to stop you from getting into trouble to make sure you and the boss don't kill each other. So that's why I volunteered. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better guardian angel than me, right?
They couldn't drop somebody off in Russia, I
Stop
guess, is
right
the
there.
problem.
You can thank me when you get back.
All right.
It's like homework, wait for the last night. Maybe they were planning the mission? Yeah, it's totally the countdown timer is set to 1 minute remaining, and we're going to get as
Okay,
close
good
to
luck,
the
Snake.
deadline as possible. We'll come back here. What triggers the cookie scone one? I think I know the one you're talking about, but I forget how to make it happen. I felt a lot more connected to most of the Kodak contacts in this game compared to MGS 1 and 2. So you have to manually activate it. Another tree frog. Someday you feed on it. Oh, I don't have my trank gun anymore. Let me see. Wearing the mountain camouflage. Gotcha. There's snakes. But I'm not going to worry about the trank gun because I'm actually going to try to kill people. I think it's better for the experience in this game if we don't go non-lethal. Even though it's fun to play it non-lethal. More snakes. I think those are all snakes I've found before, but I can take a look really quick. Yeah, all reticulated pythons. I haven't had an Otten frog before, though. Basically, Kojima went to all this trouble to make a new engine for MGS5 called the Fox engine. It was really excited they were going to use it for a bunch of different games. And after they fired him, they used the Fox engine to animate a pre-rendered cutscene in a Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater Pachinko machine. The remake of a cutscene from this.
Snake, unlike the Virtuous Mission, this is a night operation. You'll be encountering nocturnal animals that you didn't encounter your last mission. Some of them are venomous, like the king cobra, so be careful. If you get bitten by a venomous animal, the poison will spread through your body and rapidly drain your life gauge. If that's the case, go into the cure screen in survival viewer immediately and inject yourself with serum. Got it?
Yeah, right? It's not even the best way to make a pre-rendered cutscene. They just did it to dick with him. That looks like a one-way drop. Let's do it. No, my understanding is they actually did it just to snub Kojima. Like, it wasn't for a remake that was in process. Otherwise, that would be a different story altogether. I think I'm set on snakes for a while. Horse.
You just heard a horse?
Yeah.
You sure it wasn't something else?
I know a horse when I hear one.
Paramedic, are there any wild horses in Selino-Yask?
Do you really expect me to say yes?
No.
So what should I do?
There's only one way through that area. All you can do is move forward. Head towards the sound of that horse. It came from the north. Be careful.
Horse. Beware of horse. I think this triggers a conversation. Tree snake.
I see you caught yourself a green tree python. The green tree python isn't venomous, so no need to worry. It's fairly docile too, so I don't think it's likely to attack you. The green tree python originally comes from Australia and New Zealand. It's
Amazing
a really
horse
pretty
ahead.
green color, and it lives... Oh my god.
What's wrong?
Snake, what did I just say?
They come from Australia and New Zealand.
No, after that.
They're a really pretty green color.
I thought so. What was I thinking? Seeing a snake and calling it pretty?
What's wrong with
Pretty
that?
pretty.
Everything. When a normal woman sees a snake, she's supposed to scream or get sick or something like that.
And you think you're normal?
What was that?
Nothing.
Oh, it's all your fault.
Jeez, I'm sorry. But enough of that.
What do you mean enough of that? This is serious.
No, I just wanted you to tell me how it tastes.
How should I know?
Ugh.
It was awfully pretty, though.
Unparalleled uses of the ellipsis. David Hayter deserves a nomination for his performance. Asked about flavor, but wasn't answered. A little video. Not necessary. I love you, Metal Gear Solid 3.
Not too bad.
Not too bad. Hey, Snake Eater. Oh, game over.
Snake, unlike the Virtuous Mission, this is a night operation. You'll be encountering nocturnal animals that you didn't encounter your last mission. Some of them are venomous, like the king cobra, so be careful. If you get bitten by a venomous animal, the poison will spread through your body and rapidly drain your life gauge. If that's the case, go into the cure screen and survival viewer immediately and inject yourself with serum. Got it?
Roger.
Snake, unlike...
Okay, that's the one we just did. Save really quick.
Do you want to save?
Maybe it comes up later, or maybe I have to have another one caught. First one was pretty good, though. Cool Kodak conversations are absolutely
Snake,
on the table
have
for
you
sharing
heard of
with
it came
me.
from outer space?
You just mentioned that
Yeah,
last time.
you told me already.
So this astronomer sees a meteor, but it's really an alien spaceship, right? and the aliens start replacing the townspeople with clones and forcing them to help repair the ship. The 3D effects were quite realistic.
I've got all the real I can handle here in the
This is
jungle.
before 3D started to become
No,
popular
you don't
again
get it.
in
Precisely because it's realistic.
modern
With
day
the images
movies.
jumping out of the screen at you, it makes for a nice escape from reality. I have to admit it made my eyes tired, but it was really intense. Unfortunately, they don't make very many of those movies
Yeah,
anymore.
you're fortunate.
When did it come out?
3D
I was still in
movies
college,
suck.
so probably about 10 years ago.
Guess I'm out of luck then.
You know, they're coming out with household versions of video cassette recorders. One day you'll be able to see old movies anytime you
It's
want.
a long ways off.
It'll be like having a movie theater in your own home.
Really?
It's like if you had a record with movie film etched onto it instead of music. It'll work the same way.
You're kidding.
No, really. And someday they might make movies where you control the characters yourself.
Sounds like magic.
It'll happen. Make sure you stay alive to see it, Snake.
Oh, Kojima. You should watch, speaking of the invention of the VCR, you should watch Mr. Rogers, Fred Rogers' testimony before it was a committee in the House of Representatives, because there was this big anti-piracy argument about VCRs and VHS tapes, that people were going to use it to pirate and going to ruin Hollywood and they were going to lose all their money. And Mr. Rogers testified to say, hey, children need to be able to videotape my show because maybe they have an unusual household and they can't watch it when it normally airs, so this is good for them. Really, really great video. Like, you can see the guy that's talking to him is really hostile toward him in the beginning, and he is borderline crying by the end of it because Mr. Rogers is just such a straight up legit dude. Oh, I might be thinking of the PBS funding one, but he also did one in defense of VHS. You're right, Ludifex, my bad. He definitely did defend VCRs, and I think he was part of making sure that technology didn't get cut out. The one I'm thinking of is the PBS funding one.
Looks like death wasn't ready for you yet.
Oh yeah, that'd have to be awesome for the 13th Colossus, Chocolate Rob. Tasty horse.
That arm still hurt?
How does it taste? Don't break my gun again, please.
What are you doing here?
Well, this mission's about to be over real fast. It's a 70s sneaking suit. Gotta make it as shiny as possible.
Go home.
One deft move.
Go home. Gru and my sons are waiting up ahead. You don't have a prayer of finishing your mission. You're not even armed.
I guess we're back to procure on site, huh?
I'm not your boss anymore. There's nothing for you here.
Dude, if they made this into a movie, Robin Wright
Go
would play the
home.
boss, and it would be
Go
fucking
back to your
amazing.
boss.
She's in
There's
Wonder
no need
Woman,
to
and her
prove
character
that
is
you are
rad.
virtuous here. This isn't America.
It actually kind of sounds like Robin Wright. Now, they should never make a Metal Gear Solid movie. We have a Metal Gear Solid movie. It's called Metal Gear Solid. But yeah, she would be perfect casting, right?
That should stir things up a bit. You'd better hurry.
Yeah.
The border is 60
Spooky.
miles south of here. You ought to be able to run
Poncho
that far.
Man.
Why'd you defect?
I didn't. I'm loyal to
Yeah,
the
it's called
end,
Escape
to
from
my
New York.
purpose. What about you, Jack? What's it going to be? Loyalty to your country or loyalty
Talking about
to
that during
me.
MGS1
Your
and MGS2.
country or
The
your old
MGS2 is
mentor.
basically
The
a
mission
remake
or
of
your
MGS1
beliefs.
because of Escape from New
Your
York and
duty
Escape
to
from
your
LA.
unit or your personal feelings.
It does not make sense. It's cool.
You don't know the truth yet. But sooner or later you'll have to choose. I don't expect you to forgive me. But you can't defeat me either. You know me too well.
It's straightforward. It's not that it makes sense.
Behind you,
Right?
you won't survive long.
There are many James Bond movies that don't make sense and either are or are not straightforward.
If we meet
God,
again,
that was a dick move. Don't break my hand. God.
Now, go home.
Alright, well, so much for beating the final boss in the boss. Solving our mission in the first 2 minutes. Because we can go back to the time paradox and we killed Ocelot and take that.
This is Snake. Major Zero.
I read you, Snake.
I was ambushed by the boss.
You were what?
The drone's been shot to hell.
Yeah, her
It's up in
magazine's shaped like an
flames.
infinity symbol. That's why it
Enemy
hasn't been
scouts are going to
bullets.
come looking for you.
Yeah, I know. But what was the boss doing here in the first place? There's got to be a leak somewhere.
No, that's impossible. The man the boss is working with, Volgin, isn't exactly on speaking terms with Khrushchev.
I lost my gun. The boss destroyed it.
Snake, I know how you're feeling. It's hard for me to believe, too, that a legendary hero like the boss would go over to the Russians. That she'd double-cross us like this. But that's how it is, and if you don't accept it, you'll never be able to beat her.
That's not the problem.
She likes
In
horses.
terms
She
of
must
sheer
be a good
technique,
person.
I'll never be able to beat her. I know that all too well.
You've got to do it, Snake. She's your enemy and your objective.
Enemy? We were together for 10 years, and now you tell me she's my enemy?
Enough. Hurry to the factory where Adam is waiting. Scouts have probably already been sent out to investigate the explosion. You've lost your weapon, right? That means you've got no chance of winning in a battle situation. Whatever you do, don't let them see you.
What's this?
Sorry, HVAC team's trying to fix our air conditioning. Coming out to check it out again.
HQ.
This is HQ.
Patrol here. We have evidence of an enemy intruder. Commence alert formation.
Automatic caution because of the crash, I think. Right.
Extra caution.
I have no gun this time. So I didn't call the boss at all. Remind me, how does CQC work? Is it just a matter of pressing and holding the square button when you're behind an enemy? Because you don't really, like, grab them and choke them and use them as a human shield as much in this game, right? I remember doing CQC playthroughs with the camo that makes them hesitate to shoot you. You just run up and judo slam all of them. Circle CQC, okay. Square is to grab them and use them. Square, like, unarmed. Gotcha. Y'all can't see me. Slam them and welcome to the jam them. Exactly.
What the?
Nothing to see here.
Who's that? Who's that?
What's going on? Radio, where's our backup?
Shit. That's what we want. Mama said, knock you out. Nice. I was hoping I could sneak up on him, but I guess I was making too much sound when I was walking nearby. Yeah, because you can't, like, crouch walk. You either crawl or you move all the way. These guys are already the reinforcements from earlier. Chat grenades. That's cool.
This is HQ.
Patrol here. Outside of you, going into high alert.
Acknowledged. The enemy is still nearby. Pursue and engage him.
Oh, you might be right. D-pad for sneak walk. Yeah, thank you. I was trying to remember. I felt like there was a sneak walk in this game. It was probably something you talked to the boss about it, right? Because that's the whole thing where it's like you're doing marching, where he kind of sets the back of his foot down first, and then he rolls it forward to test for what do you call it? Twigs or things he might step on that would be loud. Yeah, good looking out. I should have called the boss more during the opening mission, which gives you some really important information. Here's a dude. 55%. Can I do better than that? Tiger Stripe. MVP. Be careful of birds. I can give away your position in this one, if I recall. Leaf. Actually, black's even better than that. Maybe it was Master Miller.
What the?
Nothing to see here.
Guess I'm seeing things.
You are seeing things. That's the only guard near here.
HQ, HQ.
This is HQ.
Patrol here. No problems detected.
Understood. Resume your patrol.
Close shave. Didn't actually mean to do that. I think I pressed the button too hard might be how it works. If you have a light press, you just kind of hold on to them. If you have a hard press, you slip their throat. But hey, you know, shit happens. Sometimes you murder people. No two ways around it. No problem here. Boring conversation anyway. Yeah, I remember interrogating. I'm going to try to do that going forward, because I remember you get some cool information from doing that, right? Oh, there's so many different ways to play this game. Isn't there, like... if you find a storage facility, like a place that has a bunch of food in it, you can ransack the food and then blow the place up with C4, and then the enemies after that will all be really hungry or something. Thank you. How are you? Yes, this is a place that I could hide, I guess. Actual value here. Yeah, because they're not... The pressure-sensitive buttons are kind of frustrating because it's not quite like the GameCube where there's like a click sensation and you know the difference. It's pretty hard to gauge it, I think. Really, the MGS games are the only ones that use them. I feel like you give some weird hardware effect to Kojima and he'll find a way to use it, right? If there was a microphone on there, he'd find a way to use it. That's cool. I think this game probably has the most of that. There might be more of it in MGS4 that I'm forgetting because I haven't played it in forever. Nobody, nothing to see here. I'm completely blended in with this tree. There is literally nothing to see here. Oh, you could press harder to draw thicker lines with your brush.
Nobody here.
You just jump down? This is so much more tense than Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2.
Speak. If you slide down cliffs, you won't take any damage.
Tell me where the bomb is.
Answer me.
I remember this, it was just muscle memory. Where you interrogate.
If you slide down cliffs, you won't take any damage.
Yeah, we'll talk about that when we get to that fight. Like a tip, right? So I think you can, like, if there's a guard walking on the bridge, you can shoot at the ropes to make them lose their balance and fall. Oh, that's interesting. Your stamina bar is your grip gauge. The less stamina you have. Ooh, raindrop camo. That's cute. Neat. Having all these camos makes the whole, like, collectible side of this game really fun. I felt like that felt more missing from MGS4. Finding all the unlocks is really satisfying reward for exploration. There's a dude right there. Hold on. Tiger Stripe. MVP. Yeah, right. I'm excited to be playing it again myself. Whether or not you grab them is based on
Speak.
whether you're moving when you press CQC, I think.
Press the action button above branches.
Grab onto the branch.
Under the rope bridge. Flatten yourself against the cliff wall and proceed.
He knows about the hidden camo over there.
Let me go!
Give me your loot. Later, dude. Russet. First area is paced well. Down the cliff he goes. And it's kind of cool that they take your gun away from you. The first time you come here, it's kind of on easy mode because you have the tranquilizer gun, right? Oh. Maybe it doesn't always give you the full camera view. Let me put it back on the other one real quick. Oh, you click in the stick to switch which one is active. That's convenient. I think there are still guards here we have to worry about. Night vision would be nice here. The AP sensor. One sec, guys. I'm gonna go close the door. HVAC guys are here. Oh shit, I forgot to actually pause the game. But we lucked out. Apparently there aren't any guards here just yet. Alright, that's a way you can get in here. I forgot about that. Little trapdoor in the basement. Will do. Yeah, who's this mysterious non-Andrea person? Hey, thermal goggles. That's exciting. I think they use battery though, don't they? And I have to equip them in my backpack. So let me do that real quick. Thermal goggles. The entire house is live stream. Yeah, it's Twitch IRL, right? That seems bad.
Sorry I'm late.
Cut the engine. They'll hear us.
Are you the agent they sent?
Are you Adam? I thought you were supposed to be a man.
Adam couldn't make it.
All right, say the password. Who are the Patriots? Who are the Patriots?
Hello.
Answer me. Trapped.
Get down!
Swinging your gun like it's an action movie. Good enough answer?
Is your answer?
Well, that wasn't the answer, but okay. And so Eva is way over the top, but it's Bond villain, right? Of course, at R1. She doesn't have her motorcycle music blaring like Joy in Shenmue 2. Exactly. Yes, Snake, just stare. At least we'll have animated cutscenes of us talking, and can't really talk on codec here.
This wasn't part of the plan. What happened to Adam?
What's your code name?
It's Snake.
Snake, huh? Well, I'm Eva. Are you here?
I've got camo, she can't tell. I'm invisible.
What happened to Adam?
Wearing sunglasses.
Colonel Volgin is a very suspicious man. He decided Adam wasn't the right person for this mission.
And you were?
Yes.
Why?
Because I can do things he can't.
I heard you used to be a codebreaker for the NSA.
I was. 4 years ago, I defected to the Soviet Union with Adam.
Mauser military. The broom handle.
It
His little smiles.
Nice to have when you're on a bike.
You didn't get as good a facial
You held
animation
it
in
sideways
MGS 1
and
and 2.
used the muzzle
Not
joint
in
to
MGS
create a
1.
horizontal sweep. That was impressive.
Bet you've never seen that technique in the West.
It's imitation, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a Chinese Type 17 pistol.
That
Around here, even that
trigger discipline in a series where you wouldn't expect
the
that
one
at
I've
all.
got for you is American made.
.45, huh? Incredible.
He's so excited.
Do you like it?
The feeding ramp is polished to a mirror sheen. The slide's been reinforced, and the interlock with the frame is tightened for added precision.
Love how excited he got.
The sight system is original too. The thumb safety is extended to make it easier on the finger. A long type trigger with non-slip grooves. A ring hammer. The base of the trigger guard's been filed down for a higher grip. And not only that, nearly every part of this gun has been expertly crafted and customized.
I forgot about that scene. That's great. You see him
get something
fanboy
like
out about the gun.
I grabbed it from a Western.
Yeah, right. Where he
munitions
like
armor.
quick cuts as he drops
Probably
the
used to
cigar.
belong to one of your officers, and there are more where that came from.
Yeah, we should watch Secret Theater, I think. It's in here, right? It's on the HD collection. I do own Subsistence too, so if
You had this
it's not
with you,
on there,
didn't
I
you?
can pull it up. Maybe we'll do a
Better take this
miscellaneous Metal Gear Solid
What's
cleanup
that?
thing after the
A
main
disguise
series.
to
is
make you
done.
look like a scientist.
A disguise?
Yes. You're here to rescue Sokolov, right?
Sokolov's still safe then.
Yes. He's being forced to continue his work on the Shagohod.
Where?
At the lab. They've got a whole army of scientists there developing new weapons. Security is tight, but if you disguise yourself as a scientist, you might be able to sneak in.
Can we get Sokolov out of there?
We'll see, won't we?
Tell me how to get to the lab.
The safest way in is from the rear.
It's tricky to
First, you'll need to
video
head north
capture
through the
YouTube.
jungle.
You can, but it's
You'll
kind
come
of
to a
annoying. So
heliport
I'd probably
used
boot up
for shipping
Subsistence.
materials.
Just switching
Pass
out discs.
the heliport and continue north, and there will be a large crevice.
I probably won't do it
Descend
right after
into
Snake
that
Eater,
area
though.
and you'll reach a cave. Move through the cave, and you will arrive at a mangrove swamp. After the swamp, there'll be a warehouse.
He's already messing
Make
with his
your way
gun.
through the warehouse, and you'll come out just south of the lab.
Naked Snake is best Snake.
Got it.
And just what are you doing there?
In close-range combat, a knife can sometimes be more useful than a gun. By doing this, I'll be able to hold a knife at the same time and still keep the gun steady. That way, I can instantly switch between a gun battle and a knife fight.
You can tell she's just riveted.
Right, let's get going.
Wait a minute.
Be an autocon
What now?
over here.
You must be tired. Why don't you take a little rest?
I'll be fine.
You'll never make it in your condition. It's a jungle out there. There's still an hour before dawn. It's dangerous to be out in the jungle at night without a guide.
What about you?
I have to get back. I can't be gone for too long. They'll start to suspect something.
Probably easier for me to just swap discs.
Don't worry. I'll
There you
keep
go.
updated
Yeah.
over the radio.
Load the video, film it off your computer
That's
screen with your phone, held vertically.
My orders are to provide you with information, nothing more.
Enemy
You
uniform.
look disappointed. All right then. I'll do something special for you. I'll stand watch until dawn. Now be a good boy and lie down.
Thanks, Eva.
What's the matter?
I don't know you well enough to trust you.
How well do you have to know me to trust me?
Well, if you knew the password, that would certainly help.
I don't know if I can trust anybody.
That seems wise.
Gonna get that?
She's right, Snake. You should get some sleep. Although in your condition, you really ought to be back in the
Because
ICU.
James Bond propagable.
Whenever you save the game and quit, you'll go to sleep. Sleeping allows you to gain back stamina naturally. Depending on how long you sleep, you may also recover naturally from sickness and injury.
Right, so this is pointing out
When you're
that
tired or
something
hurt,
happens
the best
with
thing to do
the
is just
game
get some
clock
sleep.
even when you have the game
So
turned
do
off.
yourself a favor and take a nap.
So if you stop
Doctor's
playing the
orders,
game for a week
okay?
and you log back in,
Yeah.
like your health will be recovered and all your stamina will be back. It's pretty cool. Yes, what perfect timing for a save game. And I'll have to call it there. I go work with HVAC folks. Where's the beach scene? Yeah, it's like the femme fatale, you know, like Widowmaker character, Eva character doesn't really bug me because it's a fundamental part of their character. It's when it's totally random, like the Naoto shit in Persona lately.